How to select orchids when you're out buying them. This is John Stubbings with Clown Alley Orchids. When you're buying an orchid, you generally are buying it because you want to see the flowers either now or shortly in the future. You want to buy the biggest, healthiest plants you can that you're going to enjoy. Many of the orchids that you find for sale are miraclones. This means they will be identical when they bloom. They're genetically identical, but they might not have been grown to perfection, so they won't look the same as a plant. So here's an example. These are both the same miraclone, but you can see the plant in my left hand is really a sick-looking plant, so I wouldn't recommend you buy something like that. The one in the right hand, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Sometimes they make three or it has much better looking growth, much happier plant, even though it has a weed in it. This one, on the other hand, is somewhere in between the two. You can see it has a bud, so you're going to see the flower. And if this one had 3 buds instead of 1, you might decide to buy this because you're going to get 3 flowers, whereas the one in the right hand, you know you're only going to see 2 flowers. So you buy the biggest, healthiest plant. You might buy the one with the most buds. This is really true for miraclones. If you're going to buy seedlings, seedlings are not all identical. So in order to really know what the flower looks like, you have to see them in flower. If you're just going to buy young seedlings to grow up for a year or 2, you're not going to know for sure what the flowers look like. They will look somewhat like the 2 parents, but there's a big variation. So when you get to miraclones, these have been selected by the growers based on really being a good performing plant, a plant that grows well, a plant that blooms well and has nice flowers. So that's the advantage of miraclones. In seedlings, you're always looking for the surprise, something nobody else has. So when you go out to buy orchids, really look at the plant more than you really look at the flowers to buy the best orchid for you. Okay, we talked about miraclones and seedlings, and that miraclones are identical, so you can tell what the flowers are supposed to look like even when it's not in bloom. Seedlings you cannot tell because brothers and sisters don't always look exactly the same. The easiest way to tell is by looking at the name tags. This top name tag only has 2 names on it, Dendrobium porphyrocylum. This is probably a seedling because it only has 2 names. It has the genus first and the species second. This other tag says Burragera, Pacific Command, and then in quotes it says Huina Road. Because of the quotes, we know that Huina Road is a miraclone or a division of an original plant named Huina Road. So they should all be identical, and you should be able to look up a picture of that clone of Burragera Pacific Command. So that's how you tell the difference between seedlings and miraclones, is by having a quote around the 3rd part of the name.
Okay.